Welcome back to the Suit and Scrubs podcast, where business meets bedside. I'm Dan Haggerty, the guy in the suit, joined by three of the best home health PTs out there, Brendan Kirby, Lisa Thompson, and Dan Catuccio. Before we dive in, check out careandmotion.co for tools, tips, and products for anyone in home health. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you listen to us. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell so you never miss an episode. All right, let's dive in. I'm so excited for today's episode because you probably know our guest. I bet you've seen Josh Evers. He was a med-surg nurse who transitioned into home health 3 years ago. With a following on social media of over 250,000. His online personality is hilarious. And he joined us today to talk about his transition from acute care into home health and how he became Facebook famous. All right, and we're live. We're excited. We've got a very special guest today. Can't wait to get this thing going. And I'm actually in Austin, Texas today. I was with Lisa. I will have to post the picture online. I think, Lisa, you're going to do it.
I will, yeah.
It's like I did not realize that Austin actually, like, I sent this picture out and it looked like I'm in some Greek island. It's crazy. It's
totally good.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I was like,
that's
like
awesome.
Travis.
Yeah. So,
Dan, did you put our lock up there though? You and me?
I did not put the lock. There's a very cute little thing where everybody's got locks on this little fence that overlooks this thing, and I'll do that, Brendan. I'll do that for you.
Please do.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. We've missed you, by the way. So
this is like the Backstreet Boys reunion. We're back together. The band is back. We're at our big show now. We're here.
And now everybody's here.
We'll only have 10% of Lisa's brain power because the other 90% is going to her fantasy football draft.
Yeah,
You'll have to let us know how that team looks.
Mm-hmm.
So, special guest, I am so excited. I feel like I'm in the middle of this social media, universe right now that we are not worthy. We are not worthy between Lindsay and Lisa and now Josh Evers. So, Josh, great to have you here. I'd love to have you kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate this. This is my first podcast, by the way.
Nice.
I was almost scammed by being told I was going to be on a podcast. It was a Mayim Bialik. I ended up getting the word from
Blossom?
her herself.
From
Yes,
the Big
Blossom.
Bang Theory?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got emails saying they wanted me to be on their podcast. And I'm like, Does this look real? And like, I'm showing it to friends and they're like, yeah, it looks real. And the way they presented it, they're like, we want to talk about how hard it is being a nurse and a dad with a special needs child and doing social media and making time for all this. And it was so personal. I was like, this sounds pretty real. Mayim Bialik herself in a live chat told me it wasn't, because it was like, I was like getting ready to do it. And I was like talking to the guy and all ready to go. And I was like, I still don't know if this is real or not. And then
that's crazy.
I saw her live and I go, hey, am I going on a podcast with you? And she goes, no, it's me and this guy right over here. And there's some guy in the corner that do the podcast. If you're not talking to us, then that's not it. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing a podcast.
Is that why you Googled Dan Haggerty when you got that email from me? You're like, Grizzly Adams is dead.
I Googled all of you just in case.
Yeah.
This is a figment of your imagination, Josh. This is not real.
I was cautious until like 2 minutes ago. So I've been a nurse for 10 and a half years. I graduated in 2015. I worked in a hospital for 7 years. The last 3 of those years were as a COVID nurse, which wasn't part of the plan. And then my wife was like, you've got to do something else. I was kind of scared to do it. She filled out an application for me for a home health position. And she goes, go finish the application. I finished it. And it worked out pretty good. So
happy wife is a happy life.
Do what?
A happy wife is a happy life.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
But I absolutely love doing home health. I'll do this until I retire or, something really works out on, the
Nice.
computer, doing social media. No, even if I were to, be a big creator, I would still work because I really do love it. And I've never had a job that I could say that before. So thank God
That's
for
awesome.
that.
Oh, good for you.
And I have a wife. I have 2 kids. My wife's name is Amanda. Camden and Connor. Those are our 2 boys. And that's it. I make stupid videos online that work out pretty good sometimes.
So,
It just so happens.
Are most of your followers that's been going on since you were pre-home health, right? So you kind of have a blend of the before and after.
Yes. I started making videos in 2020. It was like right around quarantine. It was a perfect storm. If you wanted to get in social media, that was the time.
Yeah.
Because everybody's home. And so the first thing I did was I noticed. So I was inspired by Ryan, the kid that opens the toys, whatever.
Oh, my kids watch that guy.
So
Ryan,
and that's why, because I looked up how much money he made.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put my kids on camera. I know nobody these days that's like frowned upon or whatever. It's like, oh, you're taking advantage of your kids. Well, whatever, if they can make money. But nobody cared about my kids. So they're adorable and funny and all that. But 1 view, 2 views. I made 1 video about getting what was it? It was getting a report that started out good and then like kind of blew up in the end. And it got 30,000 views. And I got this dopamine rush that I'd never had before. And it was so cool. And I'm just like staring at my phone, just like sweating, just like looking at it. And so that's where it started. And then people at work were like, I saw your TikTok. And I'm like, for real? So yeah. And then now I've had videos that have had 20 million views and 15 and I get recognized at this store and I get pictures taken outside of Buc-ee's. Wow.
Oh, Buc-ee's.
I went to Buc-ee's yesterday. Every time I come to Texas, I go to Buc-ee's. Where do you live, by the way? I
live in Oklahoma.
Okay.
I live a suburb of Tulsa.
Yeah.
Grew up in Tulsa. Originally from Alabama. I don't have an accent. Do I sound like I'm from Alabama?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what. Yeah. I don't know how to. I probably shouldn't even answer that. Never mind.
Well, I know I don't, because my family sounds like they're from Alabama.
Oh, okay.
My big what do you call it? Rebellion against my family was getting rid of my Southern accent. Like instead of like everybody would say like, what's water? What are you talking about? What's water? And I'd be like, I'm sorry, water. Yeah. And so I slowly got rid of that country accent.
So water. It's water ice.
Yeah. Or oil. I got to go change the oil.
Yeah. So maybe talking about the transition to home health, what were some of your first impressions as you moved out into the roads of healthcare?
Freedom. The nurse that trained me was amazing, and I just found out yesterday at a meeting that she's been at our company for 40 years. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
That's an amazing amount of time, but she was so great. If it weren't for her, I don't know I like the independence. I like, we are getting AI soon, and it's supposed to be recording our conversations that we have with our patients, using that to like integrate into like the care plan and everything. And it's supposed to help shorten our charting. I'm not looking forward to that because of the way I talk to my patients. It's personal. I try to make them laugh and I try to make them comfortable. The majority of it has nothing to do with care plan or anything like that. So I don't know what I think about that. But going from working in a med surge to working home health is, it's the best decision that my wife ever made for me.
Mm.
But I wasted years of my life. Well, I wouldn't say that. I got a lot of knowledge. I got a lot of experience. For some reason, I thought I had to go work med surg, which is like the craziest floor you can work on. I thought I had to go do that, and maybe that's what God's plan was. And I got all, now work in home health. If a problem comes up, I feel prepared for it. And, I have nothing to complain about. If I ever hear someone that I'm working with talk about like, I've got too many patients, or I'm having to drive too far, or, whatever, I say in my head, I don't say it out loud, but I'll say, go work med surg 2 days and you'll be begging for more patients. You'll be begging to drive another town over. Like, relax. We've got it great.
Josh, with
Yeah,
that
grass
story,
isn't always greener.
I got 2 questions for you, and take each one separate. But did you go into med surg because of stereotypes or what you felt you needed to go? Right, that's my first question, and then my second one would be, how was that first day? That first day of home health by yourself? Like, how did you feel? Were you nervous? Were you happy? Were you scared? Like, what? I mean, obviously you're an experienced nurse, but it's still your first day in home health. So those are my 2. Take which one we want first.
Okay. So I did feel like I needed to work med surg first. While I was in school, I went on to I went with a preceptor to do home health, and I already kind of felt like I loved it. I was like, they walked in, they grabbed the mail for the patient, the lady had a bag of candy that she was bringing this old couple, that it was just amazing. Like, she knew them. It was like they were her grandparents. It was it was great. And I was like, this is what you do. This is, like yesterday I was in the cardiac ICU, just like hoping people, didn't code. And, this is awesome. We stopped at Quick Trip, and so when I went to my first interview was on the med surg floor, and I didn't really know what I was getting into. I knew that everyone had said med surg is where you get the most experience. I didn't want to do ER. I didn't want to do ICU. To be honest, when I was in ICU for like preceptorship stuff, it was pretty boring. Everybody was out asleep, intubated, whatever. You're not talking to anybody. You're just sitting there looking at machines and changing stuff. And yeah, so my first interview, I got offered a job on weekend nights, and it was an insane amount of money, like, $21 extra per hour or something like that. So I just said, okay, I'll take the job. And that way I don't have to go to any more interviews too. So, win-win. So that was it. Like, it was just like, okay, here we go. I'm too lazy and I hate going to interviews. So I just was like, there we go. That's it. Med surg. I got a job. Fine. And it's like, I couldn't, my wife was at home pregnant. I was like, I can't wait to go tell her I'm going to be making, like $28 an hour or something, whatever it was. And, okay. And then next question. First day on my own at home health. I remember it perfectly because I had 2 of the same patients that I've been seeing with my trainer. And so I was pumped on that. That helped me be a little bit less nervous, but yes, I was very nervous. And I remember going in, and I must have sounded like so scripted talking to the patient. I went, through the computer, head to toe, did everything in the computer. It took like an hour to do like a assessment, probably. I still remember that. And I remember the guy who I really loved that I saw that I'd been seeing with my trainer, and he had had open heart surgery, and he was an awesome guy. He's like an ex-cop, and we just sat there and we talked, and so once again, cut me off if I just keep talking too much. Whenever my wife was telling me I should be a nurse, because once again, that's how I got to this point, was when I went to school to be a wildlife biologist. And at one point, my wife is like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to keep going to school until I kind of figure out what I'm going to do. And, I wanted to be Steve Irwin. I don't know if you can see it. There's a picture of him on the wall right there.
Mhm.
I wanted to. I lived a dream of, you know, my childhood dream until I was about like 20 something years old, and I was like, okay, I'm about to get married, start a family. I got to get a real job. That's a patient. So I talked to my wife. She's like, you need to go up there to the school, talk to somebody about it. And they're like, you've got all these chemistries, you've got these, you know, biology, blah, 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 this and that. What you're wanting to do, you're going to have to get like a PhD. You're never going to be able to pay off your student loans. And I'm still like not really knowing what I want to do. And my wife is like, you should be a doctor. And I said, I don't want to be a doctor. That sounds terrible. And she goes, you should be a nurse. You know, you have this gift. You make people comfortable. You can talk to people. That's like half the job. And it turned out that's true. I've been told before, like, you know, like a patient, I was changing her port, and while I was doing that, she was like, you know, that's usually pretty scary, and you know, I hate doing this, but she's like, thank you for some reason you do it. It's better when you do it. And I'm like, that's because I talk so much you can't concentrate on it. And she's like, yeah, that's probably what it is. So, you know, but yeah, I don't know. I answered your question.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I have a question for you,
it.
actually, because I've been seeing, you know, online that people often call home health for nurses like soft nursing. And I don't know if you've heard that before, where it's like, oh, where nurses like go to die is home health, right? Like you're not doing a lot. How do you feel about that now, being in like acute and the home health side of it? Do you think home health is just like easy for a nurse?
Yeah. Early retirement, 100%. The hardest part about home health is charting and scheduling. So I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I had a patient who was actively having a heart attack in front of me at her house. And I'm like, oh, I haven't felt this kind of like adrenaline in a while. I don't like this. Like this, you know, that's not what this job is about. I'm supposed to be, you know, changing a wound vac or something, and then just going back out to my car here in 5 minutes. But no, like, you know, yeah, definitely it is. You know, I don't know, like people would say like a different beast or whatever, but it's not a beast. Home health is great. If you were to give me $20 extra an hour to go work anywhere in a hospital and take this job away from me, I would say no. $50 an hour, I would say no. I love working home health. I love getting to know the families, and I believe people get better at home. And I know, and it's true. Like there's studies and stuff. I don't know which ones, but people tend to do better at home. They get less of that playing the role of the patient. You know, they become more independent. Did I answer the question?
Josh, I think you're speaking right to it, though. I mean, you said it in a few of your responses. It's like it's home health to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, has just been so meaningful, right? It's so impactful. Like you have a direct impact in that person's life, their environment, their everything, and that's really why you found, like, it sounds like this is your calling and you love it so much, because you get to be day in and day out. And I know it's something that we previously talked about in one of our episodes, but I mean, like home health, you see that direct care, you see those changes, you see the lifestyle, everything that's happening right in front of you, and it's really, I mean, you know, yeah, everybody has good and bad days, but it makes the days, you know, that much more meaningful when you're doing this.
We touch their lives, they touch our lives. One time I showed up to a patient's house, and I had talked to him I didn't see it for a while. I had been talking to him about my family, and I have a son who has autism, and his biggest issue is speech. He's come a long way. He's come from being completely nonverbal to using full sentences. It's such a miracle. But I walk into this guy's house, and there's people there, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? Do you need me to wait outside for a little bit? And he goes, no, they're here for you. And he had brought like 2 pastors and another guy. I don't know what that guy was. He was weird, but he brought a few people in, and they were there to pray for my son. And they had wrote out these letters, and like I was like, oh my goodness. And I mean, I didn't even count it as a visit. I put a missed visit on that for that guy that day because we did that for an hour, and I didn't want to. I don't know. I don't think I made a real visit. So, but I was just like, this is nuts. I get. I was at someone's house the other day. My son is turning 10, and she goes, I remember when he was turning 8. And I was like, you do, don't you? I was like, we spend way too much time together. This is crazy. It's like, wow. So
I think you just don't get that in other settings, like you don't get that in the hospitals because patients are just in and out. You're there for such a short time versus home health. You're there week in and week out, and you actually get to spend quality time with your patients. You just don't get that other places.
And the patients in the hospital, you don't want to see again. Like, don't say the name. Don't think about them because they'll pop up on the computer.
I still have a patient. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was going to chime in and say, I still have a patient from at least like 6 or 7 years ago. Every Monday and Friday, she texts me. I haven't seen her in over 5 years. And she says, hey, Danny, praying for your week. May it be blessed and may your family be blessed. And it's like the most amazing thing. And I'm just like, oh, it really is. You just really do have an impact. And I truly see that you get to see that as well. So that's great.
Is her name Rose, Dan? Are you?
No.
He texts himself every Monday.
I'm like, hey, Dan, I hope your week is great.
I'm sitting right next to you.
I've been
Is Rose based on any single person?
She's really based on a compilation of all like my character patients. Like obviously she's a little bit ornery, a little bit grumpy, a little bit like, but I will say, long story short is because this shows about you is that similar to you, on a whim, I just started, home health videos, and it was like my first one. And I'm like, what should I call this woman? I'm like, Rose. And I just went with it. And I used the same voice that I use for all my patients when I'm talking with my wife, like, oh, it's not the heat, it's the humidity and this and that, And I'm like, Rose, and I'm like, that's my grandma, my nanny, like I'm Italian. And so she's been gone for well over 20 years. But her husband, Salvatore, my papa. So Rose and Salvatore, the names come from my grandparents who have been gone for some time. So,
wow. You heard it here first. That's awesome.
Say it again?
I said you heard it here first. That's inside information.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, maybe I can ask you a question too, Josh, just as far as the content creation stuff goes. So, I know that you feel this too, where, you think about content creation every day, right? Every day.
Non-stop.
And so where do you, how do you balance it? How do you come up with your ideas, and where do you come up with the time to do it? And how do you balance that with like work and life?
That's a good question. And the answer is I don't. Like it's impossible. There aren't enough hours in the day. I did a month where I told myself I was going to make a video at least every day. I did not accomplish that. That's impossible, but at least I like reposted every day or something like that.
Yep.
But I did it. I worked so hard on it, and it was so exhausting.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't see my wife. I ended up every night. It was like back in college. It's like straight till midnight. I got to finish this charting, like because I was putting that off. Tired every morning. I think I gained weight during that month. I and because of that, if you've noticed, I haven't made very many videos in about a month and a half, and that's from that. It was May when I did that, and it killed me. And I don't know how people do it. If I didn't have to go to work, and I say this all the time as a joke, if I didn't have to go to work, I'd be rich. But there's no way to do it.
Yeah.
My kids are still little. I don't want to miss any time with them. If my son says, "Hey, do you want to go fishing?" and I'm like literally holding a microphone and my camera set up, I'm like, yeah, let's go fishing.
Yeah.
This can wait. But I mean, like, I literally have stuff everywhere, ready to go. I made a video last night, and I didn't get to sleep until 2:30 because I got home, took my kid to football. We ate. We kind of like laid around and watched videos together in bed for a little bit until they passed out. My wife and my son. And then I was like, okay. And now I'm exhausted, which I feel like kind of goes into my videos. It's like you can almost tell. It's like that guy's like right now I'm exhausted. Also, I think my whole family's getting sick. We're all coughing and stuff. But didn't get to sleep until 2:30 after I got the video made. Woke up this morning like, oh my goodness. And then I look at my phone and videos got like 23,000 views. I'm like, I stayed up till 2:30 for 23,000. But that's good. That's fine. I know I'm complaining about that, but
no.
The answer is you can't. And the people that can, I was talking to a guy. I'm not going to name drop here, but I was like, how often do you post a video? Because you're on my feed all the time. How often do you repost? Like, can you give me some information here? And he's like, I post every 4 hours, no matter what. Every 4 hours. I'm like, how?
Jeez.
And he's a reaction video guy, so I mean, I could do that too. But if I didn't have to work and have kids, but still, it's like, but you got 2 million followers or whatever. So yeah, that's your job. Must be nice, I guess. But but I don't know how real life people, unless they're, I mean, I don't know. Good for them.
Josh, to talk about just everything we were kind of going with, all the dynamics, right, of your ever fast moving life, how has home health helped that, right? I mean, you said you were working at med-surg, right? Med-surg had set hours and everything else. I mean, has the flexibility of home health really been flexible and beneficial for you? And I mean, why would you recommend it for that purpose for someone?
Hey, let me pause though, everyone. I don't want to create a cliffhanger, but we promised ourselves if we went long, we'd break this into 2 parts, and that's the perfect stopping point. So join us next week as we continue with Josh Evers, med-surg nurse turned home health nurse media personality.